I'm pleased to have Sean Devine with me today. Sean is the communications coordinator for the Kitsap County Elections Department, and he does a lot of work on the voters pamphlet. Sean, tell us about how candidates are getting their statements into the pamphlet.
I'd love to, Shar. The local voters pamphlet is a great way to get information out to Kitsap County voters at no charge to you as a candidate. It's delivered to every household that receives a ballot in advance of the August primary and November general election. And in addition to the printed pamphlet, Kitsap County includes all of the information in an accessible online voter guide as well. And the nice thing about the online voter guide is that candidates can submit videos in addition to their statements and photos. So your candidate statement consists of 4 elements. We have the photo, contact information, biography, and the statement. And there are several requirements to be aware of when preparing your statement. We'll start with the photo. Now, I know everybody would love to shave a few years off of your age and use a photo from when we were younger, but candidates are encouraged to use a recent photo that is not more than 5 years old. We prefer a digital photo with a minimum resolution of 300 dots per inch, although you may submit a print which we will scan. Keep in mind that any pins or signs, robes, uniforms, anything that might suggest you are an office holder are not allowed in the photo. Next up is contact information. This is optional. However, as a candidate, you may provide a phone number, an email address, and a website. The next piece of your candidate statement is the biography. The biography word limit is 100 words, and the biography consists of 4 headings: elected experience, or for judicial offices, legal/judicial experience, other professional experience, education, and community service. Now, you may omit these headings, you may use some of the headings, or you may submit a biography with none of the headings. Just keep in mind that it can be no more than 2 paragraphs. So it's an approximately 50 word per paragraph limit for the biography. The final piece of your candidate statement is the actual written statement. And the word limit for most local offices is 200 words. A 200-word statement could have up to 4 paragraphs. So again, we're looking at that approximately 50 words per paragraph requirement. There are some other requirements to be aware of. Bulleted lists, bold text, underline, all caps, and multiple indentions are not allowed. Additionally, hyphenated words count as 2 words unless it's listed as 1 word by dictionary.com. So within your statement, for emphasis, you could use italics. And these formatting requirements come from the Secretary of State's office, and we use them to ensure that our local pamphlet is consistent with the state pamphlet that's going to come out in advance of the November general election. Now, there are several ways to submit your statement. Perhaps the most convenient option is to use the online submission application system. The link to access the system and submit your statement online is in the confirmation email that you received from the Secretary of State's office after your candidate filing is approved. Now, when using the online submission system, you want to make sure that any of the formatting from the written paragraph, for example, if you're working in Word, the formatting in that written statement, like paragraph returns or italics, when you copy and paste those into the online system, just make sure to double check that that formatting carried over, because as with any online system, depending on the web browser or the type of computer you're using, there could be some compatibility issues. Another option would be to email your statement directly to our office, or you could also send it to us via the mail. Once we receive your statement, we're going to verify the format and the word count, and then provide the candidate a proof via email. And the candidates have 3 days to either approve the statement or respond with any changes. Otherwise, if we don't hear from you within 3 business days, we consider that statement approved as submitted. So this is your chance to correct any errors that might exist in your statement. For example, if it's over the word limit, if it has formatting errors such as bullets or bold text that is not allowed, this is your chance to make that correction. And a couple of things to keep in mind. The auditor's office is not responsible for any factual or grammatical errors in the statement. If we notice any obvious errors, we'll notify you in the proof, but ultimately it's the candidate's responsibility to make any corrections. Don't use any obscene or defamatory language. This is grounds for rejection of your statement. And please don't wait till the last minute to complete your statement. It takes time to find a photo that you're comfortable with, and you want to make sure your written statement is free of any grammatical errors. On that note, highly recommend having a fresh set of eyes, review your statement. I promise you that it will help reveal any grammatical errors that you may have missed after spending so much time to make sure that your statement is just right.
Sean, what if I submit my statement, then I realize I made an error? How can I resubmit, or can I resubmit?
Absolutely. As long as we're not past that ultimate submission deadline, we're happy to work with candidates to accept changes to your statement.
What is the deadline to submit the statement?
Candidates who are in the primary election have 3 weeks after the close of filing to submit their statements. Now, I know this seems like a long amount of time, but with the Memorial Day weekend and all of the other responsibilities of being a candidate, this deadline is going to come up in a hurry, so don't delay. Now, candidates who are not in the primary, for example, if you're in a nonpartisan office and only 2 candidates file, that office could advance directly to the general election. Candidates in this situation have about a month and a half to submit their statement.
You mentioned candidate videos. How do I go about submitting a video for my statement?
Yeah, candidate videos are another great way to reach voters, and they're part of our online voter guide. And candidates can submit their videos directly to our office in a variety of formats. DVD, thumb drive, you could upload it directly to us. We'll work with the candidate to find an option that's best for them. There are some formatting requirements to be aware of. The video must be substantially the same as the written statement. So think of it as a video version of your written statement. The video must not exceed 3 minutes, and the maximum file size is 128 megabytes. We prefer a flash video file, that's a FLV or FLV4 file format. Now, I know that some of this is somewhat technical. Another option for candidates who aren't comfortable filming and uploading their video is to work with BKAT. BKAT has been a great partner over the past several years. They work with candidates to film and upload the videos at a charge to the candidate. And if candidates are interested in this option, they can find BKAT's contact information in our candidate guidebook. This candidate guidebook is just a great reference with a wealth of information for candidates, including a list of all of the offices open for filing, how to request voter data, and much, much more.
Thanks, Sean. I'm certain candidates will have a much easier time submitting their statements now that they have this valuable information.